So let me respond to this video.
Worst black neighborhoods got the most churches, because every single neighborhood that I have gone to, and I'm talking about any MLK throughout the United States, have a church literally on every other street, if not right across the street from each other. But yet every time I turn around, there is another child that is getting shot up or dying in the communities, in the black communities. Children are dying every day. And if before anybody out there says some dumb shit about, well, you need to go and talk to the pastors, you need to go and talk to the deacons, did that, went and talked to the pastors, went and talked to the deacons, not of all churches, but of most. And you know what happened? It ended with the pastors or the deacons trying to get under my dress. Okay? So it didn't go very far. Now, I say that to say that when I go to the churches, my whole thing is, okay, why can't we have a few more community outreach programs where we come into the community and you do this and you do that? I will support, I will volunteer, and it gets nowhere, because the main thing that I'm hearing is, well, unless they're members of the church, there's not much we can do. And that's bullshit. That is bullshit. I don't care what anyone says.
The same people that are in the church are in your household. The same people that she speak of are the same people that she probably works right next to, lives right next to. Just because people are in a church or in a synagogue or in a mosque does not mean that those people are put on a pedestal or expected to do more than the average black person. But one thing that I do know is a lot of us blacks, what we point fingers at is the church, because it's an easy target. Because 9 times out of 10, the church is not going to respond. Now, you have ministers and pastors that do, but you ever notice that people will say they got 20 churches by between this and that or whatever, but you never count the mosques, you never count the temples. You never count how many Catholic churches. You don't say that. You blame everything on the black church in the black neighborhood. But you don't blame none of the residents. You don't put the finger back at yourself. You don't blame the police. You don't blame parents. And a lot of these people that are in the church are parents and grandparents that are in there praying for their kids because they don't know how to control them. The ones that's growing up in single family homes, a lot of times, even when they got fathers, they get a little cocky. You understand what I'm saying? They on the streets. They have more to prove to their friends and the people on the street to prove that they tough than it is proving to their parents that they're gonna be succeed in life. You have people out here killing each other, but you blaming the church. How much can the church do? If the church decided we're going to take every bit of money that come in from our members and we're going to spread it through the neighborhood might get a little nicer. Little things might help out. But do you think that's going to stop the drug dealers? Do you think that's going to stop the pimps and the prostitutes and illegal gambling and what you call those weed spots on every corner, dispensaries? Do you think it's going to tame the neighborhood? Plenty of churches have outreach programs. They have, they go to mental institutions and talk to people. They go house to house and invite people to church. If you want to go, you got, Jehovah's Witness, which most black people hate that they come knock on their door. But you want the church to go knock on the door. And what would that do? That would upset people. Don't come to my door. I don't believe in that, this and that, or whatever. But this sister is so obsessed with what the church is not doing when she could start a group herself. She said she went to most. Now, I didn't go to all churches, but I went to most of them. How long do you think it take to go to most churches? We as black people cannot depend on one entity or one group of our community to save the community. It's going to take all of us. And like I said, most people like to downgrade any religion or church or anything like that because it's rules. We don't like rules. We don't like that supervisor that got too many rules. We don't like to go in a restaurant that got too many rules. If you go in a restaurant and the music starts playing and you like the one video and the girls was twerking all over the place. My man, you say, hey, that's not this type of establishment. Of course, we playing the music, but we want you to enjoy the atmosphere. We don't want the twerking. We as black people, and you have to be honest with yourself, wherever we go, we try to make any place we go the hood. If we move to the suburbs, we do things that are not accepted in the suburbs. We do things like parking our cars on the front grass. Instead of barbecuing in your backyard, you barbecuing in the front. These are things, small things that will affect your neighborhood because you have no respect for other people. We cannot put all the blame on the church and expect the church to be the ones that save everybody and do everything. And she says, well, you know, she came back.
I want to respond to some of the individuals that responded to my last post, which was on churches in the black community. Now, I was speaking based on my experience in my neighborhood, so I have a right to speak on that. The thing that got me, though, is that, boy, I get it. I see why we as black people cannot come together. We as black people cannot unify and have conversation, because the moment you say something that another black person who has grown up believing a certain way or grown up being taught or indoctrinated with a certain thing, the moment you question that, they can't take it. They come and they attack. They come at you and they question you. They question your beliefs. They question you as a human being. They come up under your clothes and talk dirty about you. I mean, I have had to block so many people because I dare say something that goes against what you have grown up believing to be true. And that's why we can't have conversation, because if I can't speak from my own experience and you can't share with me your experience and we come together and find a good little middle ground, if we can't do that, we'll never communicate. And until we solve that, we as black people will never truly unify or communicate.
And then she says, why can't we come together and talk? That's because you're attacking people. You're not trying to talk to people. You want to attack one group of black people with the word church on it. That any religion should separate people. You can believe in your religion and still love your people. But we as black people have to stop blaming the church. The first thing you do is the church. We have to point the finger at each other. There's no way around it. We all need to fix what we doing. Need to get back to black love, unity. Oh, the church divides people. No, the people in the church that decide to divide will divide the people. Nobody's checking the rappers. Nobody's checking 50 Cent for the content that he puts out. Nobody's checking. Like Dr. Omar was saying, where's the positivity? Where's the videos about the roots of where we came from, the struggle, and the people that stood up and did things? And the inventors, where's these movies at? But all we deserve is to glorify old school drug dealers that's been in jail, make movies about dope, killing each other. And this is what they love. Those people are on the other side laughing and eating it up because you're teaching your kids through this music and through these movies and videos that it is okay to take another black man's life or a black woman's or a black child, because it holds no value. Don't be a hypocrite, sis. Don't. We can all sit down and talk, but when you begin to attack other people's religion, then that's a problem. I don't care if they Muslim, Buddha, if they made up a religion, Scientology, whatever it is. To attack and put one group of people or one group or building under attack for millions and millions of black folks, you know that ain't right. But if it's easy for you, blame it all on the church.